GM friends, and thanks for joining TA Tuesday with DeFi-Logic in our server at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. We have a partnership with Glowfin. The link is in the description below. And our Bitcoin, ETH, and Doge strategies are currently in beta testing on Astrobit. Join us in Discord to learn more. Today's community call, we'll review charts for Bitcoin, ETH, Sol, Jupiter, Pepe, Aptos, Doge, Ondo, and for legacy markets, S&P 500, Dow Jones, NASDAQ 100, the US dollar, US 10-year bonds, and finally, gold. And with that, here is Eddie.
All right, I was on a nice trip last week, so let's see what's going on. This is bearish, right? Obviously, you can tell these are the old all-time high levels that I drew out off the weekly. So you would want it to hold, but it's not. We have a daily higher low, obviously on every single time frame that's going to convert over to. And I had talked about this 59K wick for a while now. I don't remember when I first mentioned that it can come. It was near the top, honestly. And instead of shorting and hedging and taking profit, I just kept playing the long side because I believe that we still trade higher mid to long term, but right now everybody's getting rinsed. We'll see how this daily closes. I have a feeling that no matter if it closes, it's going to bounce and everybody's going to short the bounce, unfortunately, because the draw is pretty obvious at this point. We have relatively equal lows. This is a big daily fair value gap, and this has just been a key level for a while now, and it's probably coming. Especially now with all the FUD coming out, government selling Bitcoin and stuff just dropped like a few minutes ago. So everybody's panic selling on that, trying to front run them. But yeah, market's going down because we're with a bunch of dummies and they're just getting manipulated, but it is what it is. So we'll see. Depending on how hard we bounce, I might look for some shorts and stuff, but at this point, I don't know. We're already in the thick of it. So yeah, this 59K was very much on the table. So if we go back to here, so we had a monthly close above the previous all-time high. So it's just really bizarre to me to be seeing like such aggressive selling. I really don't get it. Like it just doesn't make any sense other than government selling Bitcoin. And of course they would do that because this probably isn't the stream for that topic actually. We've never had a monthly close like this either though. So it's just, I don't know guys. I'm rambling because the price action is just so fucking confusing. Like it doesn't really make a lot of sense. I've taken quite a bit of losses so far this week because it just doesn't make sense to me. They've all been relatively small because I cut it quick, but it's just, we even have the EMA 400, 4H EMA 400, and we lost that. So it was in a key level too. So it's just very bizarre to see like nothing really working, especially with the monthly close the way it did and like the weekly and stuff. The only other thing that I can explain in my mind is everybody wants this daily liquidity, but it's like, I guess, but even then it's not going to look good because if we come down here and take it, unless you get like a really rapid wick, it's going to just look like shit. So see. I don't want the bull market to be over, but it's just not looking good. I know we've got some like high time frame divs. There's high time frame divs on NASDAQ too, which I'm sure John could probably point out. But so if the equities tumble, obviously the coins are going to tumble down further too. All right, JUP's been one of the strongest ones lately, which is why I wanted to look at it the other night because it was coming into this key level, but it's like losing it already too. So it might not even be something I want to pay attention to anymore, to be honest. Since we got it here, let's just look at it for now and remove all this stuff. This was one of the ones that I bought yesterday. I took a small loss on because it just wasn't respecting levels. Because normally you would look at these highs and say, okay, yeah, I want to buy that, and just cut right through it. So that's not good. Next level would probably be this one. If you start closing below this daily on Jupiter, then it's just gonna look like trash. And hold on, one thing really quick on Bitcoin, I just want to see now because I thought of it. So I remember last cycle we went through like it ended like in May, and then FTX used everybody's money to rally again. So maybe it's just over because we had pretty similar stuff where like we had high time frame daily bearish divergences, and then you had a high time frame daily structure break right here, and then a lower high, and then it was over. And then FTX used everybody's money to hyper gamble to a new high. So I'm like, maybe the market is over because obviously Sam's in jail for doing that. So who's gonna use everybody's money to pump it again? I'll probably exit all markets if I get daily closes below this. This is my last line of hopium, and since I didn't secure a ton before, I'll just be done at that point with buying back in if we can start to reclaim some stuff. And if that happens though, and if we don't get, I'll start shorting. And if I don't see reclaims, then it's over, honestly. It's just weird though, because Ethereum didn't really run, but Sol did too. And I've been saying like for a while that Sol is the altcoin indicator. It's not Ethereum anymore. It seems that way. So same thing with Pep. Like I'm in this right now because you would expect this to hold, but it's just not holding. It's just looking freaking horrible. Looks pretty similar to Bitcoin, where it's put in a high time frame market shift, bearish divergences as well. We're pretty much in hold the line, or instead of sell in the in, walk away. It's fucking over and just come back when it's bullish again, unless you just want to short shit. Oh, I didn't even really give a plan for Pep. I'm just like dooming myself right now that I look at all this stuff. This is the level I want to hold on Pep. Not doing it. The invalidation on the trade for me is basically the same thing on Bitcoin. It closes below here and I'll have to take a loss. So this looks really bad also. Because if you lose these lows, like this is all really inefficient price actions and come all the way down here, most likely. Is that like another 50% drop? Looks bad too. Aptos, see, here I tried this and stopped instantly. Let's see what we have here. So this one looks really bad actually. This is just gonna come straight down here and probably might even trade into this like whole demand zone. Looks pretty ugly. I should listen to myself more on the other stream where I was like, we're going lower. We are. Yeah, Aptos, I think if you come down into this level, you could probably buy and hope that we bounce. Any sweeps of that and reclaims is gonna look good, but it's probably coming down here. A lot of short triggers on it. I just haven't really been paying attention to the short side. Too bad. Too bad. There's no bull case for this at all until down here. Doge. This is a trade that I took when I went on my trip, and luckily I did take profit up here, but a very small amount, and now it's coming back right around entry again. I'm still in it, and I would really like to see this level hold, but I don't know if it's going to. We have a potential of a high time frame, like bearish, the RSI to pass through the 50, which then it will accelerate even further. I don't really know where it's going to stop. I would want it to stop in this whole zone, honestly. So we'll see. It's pretty rough currently as well, but it's in a level I would like to see hold. Anything down here would be pretty nasty. I could come for it. This is like a mini range right here, like mid range low, range high, and then this whole section is like the mid range could hold. It's not usually something I like to buy fresh positions on. We'll see. I would like I want this level to hold, for this level to flip the TP at 34, but I might not get that. The good news about all this stuff though is we are before the halving, right? A lot of times pre-halvings have dips that you want to buy and then you get turbos to new all-time highs. That's like the bit of hopium that I have, is that's happening, which is very aggressive selling, which is, I don't know to think if that's good or bad. It's just very aggressive. So it's looking stronger out of all things, but at the same time, it's also looking pretty bad too. So I don't think this will happen, but this is like a really clean market maker sell model happening. This is like a good description of it. So you have these highs that it ran, and this is like the distributed period of it. A lot of names, right? Distribution, wick off, order pairing. If it closes below here, then at that point, you aim for the next consolidation. Like you probably see charts where people draw like the boxes. This is it playing out in real time. So if we were in a bear market, I would expect it to come all the way back down here to the lower box and complete the sell model. But I don't think that's going to happen. That's just like a cool educational piece because I see it playing out. Other than that, for a bull side, I think if we sweep into this and reclaim it, then to go, you could probably just buy spot into here and want to stop yourself out if it starts to lose it. And then this is like a long trigger, right? Sweep and reclaim, and then obviously you can add more once it takes out these highs too. It takes out those ones. But other than that, everything looks really bad. The only positive bull case is this is a pre-halving dip that you want to buy. There are some pretty clear levels. This is like a hold the line in the sand level for me. If we don't get a reclaim of it pretty rapidly, I'd have to probably think that we're done, as this is a very high time frame level. I think it's also like a 3-day market structure. Then we just go to a fresh chart so it's a little bit easier to see, and then we'll be done. So when you go to the 3-day, I think I already mentioned this on stream once, but this is the low that you need to hold for us to be high time frame bullish. So we can still come down to it, and it's still fine, but closes below it is a high time frame shift in structure, which is very bearish. It's the same on the weekly too. The 3-day will just give you an earlier signal to exit, but you already have on the 3 days lower highs. So that's part of it too, right? That's like the first sign of it is lower highs, and you have this like pitchfork thing too, which is usually a sign of people profit taking. So line in the sand is here at this 59K level, in my opinion, 59.5-ish. But Hopefully John has some better news for us, but I have a feeling he doesn't.
Yeah, I'm glad that you're also confused and feel like this is bearish, because I think in the back of my mind, I know it's bearish, but fundamentally, I don't really see anything that would change the market sentiment. But that could also just be a cliff. Like after a while, nothing goes on fundamentally, then we go down because there's nothing going on. All right. Thanks, Eddie. And now we move over to legacy markets.
Thanks, Pepe. Moving to legacy markets, I'll start out with the S&P 500 and move on from there to NASDAQ, Dow Jones. And we're going to end up with gold, which is just going parabolic, which is interesting, very interesting. But we'll go through that. Okay, so this is S&P 500. We've had a double top, and I put this in a TA charts yesterday on my little blurb on S&P 500 that I was wondering, is this a double top? And after today, yes, because I said in the TA charts that it needs to get below 5,200 level, which today it just gapped down at the open, and now it's floating just below 5,200. So that came true. The reason why I said I had to go down to this 5,200 level was that this midpoint here on the double top needs to trade below that, which it did. So everything is bearish, just what Eddie says, bearish. Things are looking bearish. That things had to. I mean, you just look at this run up. Come on, this can't go on forever. It's eventually going to run out of steam. So we might be at that point where it is running out of steam. The reasons are, and I'll get to the U.S. 10-year yield, is that people are starting to figure out that inflation is sticky. And I said that in my Stock Saturday report last Saturday about how it's sticky. And then we have this news article, and I'll bring it up real quick, on how this was yesterday's Wall Street Journal. And within the first sentence, it says inflation has proven stickier than expected. Yeah, duh. That's expected. At least for us guys that are in the know, that is expected. So you guys probably could figure that out as well. Again, just go to the grocery store, just go to a few places around buying gas, things of that nature. That's how things are. The yields are going up on the 10-year, and like I said, I'll get to that. And right now, we're going to switch over to NASDAQ. That is just, talk about confusing charts. The NASDAQ chart for me is just confusing. I'm not really following it, never really have followed it, but it's just a blob right here. We've had some highs, and it's just a mirage. I don't understand NASDAQ right now. It's just all over the pot. We had a double top back here in the first part of March. So ever since then, it has gone down. It went below the standard deviation line. It's pumped back up again, and it hit an all-time high again on March 21st, and then it's just dropped on down. So that chart, I'm with Eddie on charts now. With NASDAQ, it's really not, I don't understand it either. The other one I want to look at is the VIX. I didn't have that in the list, but the VIX is the fear index. If you guys don't know about it, the fear index basically says when there's volatility in the market, they call it the VIX. It's finally above 14 was my line where, as an option trader, I need volatility in the market to make money with options, and it's been a malaise for a while. It pops up above 14 and then goes back down below 14. So it's harder to make money in the options market when it's volatility below 14. Thank God it's at 15 and 0.18. Okay, so we finally got what I wanted on that point in time and on the VIX. Moving now to the dollar index, it's moving as well. You can see that the reason why there's a lot of crypto drop is that the dollar index is going up as well. So you can see that it's just since the middle of March, it's just gone up. They tried to figure out what it was going to do at the standard deviation, and then they hit the upper 2x line, and then also hit the upper 2x line here. So it's moved pretty substantially. Here's the line I had at 104.15. I've had this for a long time, all the way back in December of last year. And now it's at 104.85. That line was the most recent high, which was on February 14th, Valentine's Day. Imagine that. So anyway, it's climbing up, and usually this is an inverse correlation with crypto. So if you want to see one reason why crypto is going down, is that the dollar index is going up substantially. Moving on to what I really want to talk about is gold. A lot of people don't really look at it. In fact, most people don't look at it. But here it is. It's just gone parabolic. It hit my target again at 2,070, and it just cranked up since then. I put all this in T8 charts. If you look, I cover gold a lot in T8 charts, and you look to see what happened. I drew this triangle here, and I said it's either going to pop or drop, more likely pop, which it did. It cranked up. Then the next target was obviously 2200, which it whipped here. Okay, so that was a test, and these were actual trades. Okay, I confirmed that these were actual trades. So that definitely wicked up to 22.23, and then it went down. That was back on, what day was that? Thursday, March 21st. And then it's pulled back, then pulled back to the standard deviation line, which is interesting, which is very bullish. And then it's just gone parabolic. So you can see right now that it hit the 2x upper band and then traded way above the 2x upper band on April 1st, which was yesterday. Maybe this was April Fool's Day, but no, it's not. And now it's just confirming that yesterday wasn't April Fool's Day, that it's going higher. So something is up with gold. I don't know what it is. I don't know if everybody's getting nervous about the global economy. I know Chinese reports that the Chinese people were really worried about their yuan and have been just hoarding gold like crazy. Jewelry, any kind of gold coins, gold jewelry, things of that nature. I don't know if that's an indicator of what's going on globally, but we have an election this year, which I always harp on, and that brings a lot of uncertainty. People don't know if Biden's going to go in, or I don't even know if he's going to be the Democratic candidate, to be honest with you. But it looks like Trump is a Republican candidate. A lot of uncertainty. Markets don't like uncertainty, and when there's uncertainty, people pile into gold. So that could be the major catalyst for that. All right, that's it for the legacy markets. I'll turn it back over to Pepe.
All right, thanks, John. Yep. I think it's making a lot of sense now that we are talking about the election year in conjunction with a lot of sideways action, not a lot going on fundamentally. So maybe we come to the edge of a cliff and fall off. We'll see. But that's it for this week. Remember, our trading algos are currently in beta testing on Astrobid. If you'd like to learn more, join our server. The link is in the description below. Use our affiliate link for Blowfin. They have a tournament going on right now with $35,000 in prizes. And you can get cash back at the end of the campaign. Proof of reserves are verifiable on Nansen, so you can ensure funds are SAFU. GN, friends.
Join us next week in Discord for TA Tuesday at DeFi-Logic.com.